All right, well, we're gonna use the Kaleido, and I'm actually gonna teach John, the owner of Coffee Bean Corral, how to use this machine. John, have you ever used this roaster before? Never before. So we're gonna do this today, right now. Okay. Now, we've already preheated, but I wanna show you how to actually turn this thing on. So this is the 220 volt version. They've got a 120 as well. We're using the heavy duty 220 version here. You plug it right in, and when you do, if you've got the dual system, which is what we sell, you've got the display right here that comes with the unit, and it also has the ability to connect to Artisan software via Bluetooth. So I've got both of them connected right now. Let's see here. So we're automatic. I've already set up the Artisan software, and this comes ready to go right out of the box. So if you have just your display here, John, you're going to hit Start Heating, and that's going to start bringing the roaster up to temperature. This is a little marker there. And then if you use this, the Artisan software, all your controls are across the bottom. Now, we wanted to sell the dual system because it gives you two ways to control it. You can either control it off this tablet, or you can control it off of your computer. The benefits of the computer are obvious because it's a much bigger screen, it's a dynamic interface, and this is a much smaller screen. However, I used this setup for the longest time when I first started roasting, and I like it quite a bit. They have the same controls on them. It's just whichever one you prefer. And we wanted to sell the dual also so you'd have a backup. If anything were to go wrong with your Bluetooth or something, your computer's dead, you can still use the display, that kind of thing. So now we've already preheated. Normally you'd want to let it get up to temperature really good. We've had it running for about 20 minutes before I started it up, so you can see we're already here at temperature. Your red line is going to be your bean temperature line. So this is this probe right here in front. Can you get a shot of that probe right there? Yeah. It's going right in the front of the roaster. That tells you the bean temperature. And then the blue line is going to be the environment temperature. So it's the temperature of the air leaving the chamber. So right now we're a lot hotter at the bean temperature. When I dump the beans in, of course that'll switch. So I have here 800 grams. This is 800 grams of the La Manita Estate from Tarazu in Costa Rica. And so I'm going to put that in the chamber right up here. Now what's cool about this, can you get a shot right here? What's cool about this is this has a little trap door right in that chamber right there. So you can load this up and it doesn't all go right into the roaster. You don't lose all the heat out of the top. But when you're ready to start it, you can either press charge right there with your little wand, or you can press charge on your computer. Either way works. And by the way, you can connect both at the same time. That's kind of a cool feature. So I'm going to press charge at the same time that I turn this knob. And you can watch that coffee roll in. Now, it's helpful to use the included spatula to kind of knock the beans down in to make sure they all go in a timely fashion, and make sure that the door closes completely. You don't want any evaporation out or any heat loss. Now, we've got a little tryer right here, and you see the little arrow on the bottom? If that arrow is pointed down, it's not collecting any beans for sample. You want it pointed down most of the time. If ever you want to get a sample, you would turn it over until the arrow is pointing up, and then you can see what the coffee's looking like inside. Okay. At the very beginning of the roast, of course, the coffee beans are very heavy, so you don't get as much collection. Towards the middle and the end of the roast, you get a lot more in there. Now, right now, you can look at the graph here. That, if you're an experienced roaster, you know this is called turning point. We're about to hit right here, which is when the coffee lowers the temperature in that chamber and then hits a bottom point where now it's going to start rising out. We call that turning point, and it actually automatically marks turning point in the Artisan software and in the Kaleido software. So both of these are marked already. We started the timer. Whenever you hit charge, that's when the timer starts ticking for your roast. So it's the moment the beans are in the chamber. Now, one benefit to the Artisan software is that you get this guy right here, this little guide that's showing you its projection of if the temperature continues rising at this rate, here's when we're going to hit each temperature that we're targeting, right? So we want to get around here for first crack, and so it looks like if it kept at that speed, we'd be there in about 8 minutes. We're going to see what we can do about that. Now, we haven't talked controls yet. You can see on the left side here, you've got your air, which is your fan, moving air through the roaster, and out the awesome tailpipe here at the end. We have that off right now. The drum speed is 40. You can control that. The burner's at 90%, and I'm going to bump that up just to 95. And then this is our target 428. That can be adjusted as well. So now what's cool about this, you can grab the mouse and you can make these changes if you want, but they already have little buttons down here that can take it to 100% burner, 90, 80, 70, 60. and just automatically drop you there. And they have the same with air, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. You can go all the way to 100. I've never needed to do that. Drum speed is controlled right here as well. On the tablet, you control it with burner right here, air right here, and drum right there.
What is your, tell us about drum speed.
Yeah, drum speed.
Where do you want to be?
Yeah, well, I kept it set at 40. If you're looking at the coffee in the little visual, right, the little, thank you, window, I don't know words right now. If you're looking at it in there, you want to make sure basically the beans are rolling over. If your drum speed's too high, then the beans will stay in contact with the chamber, and they'll actually scorch on the side where they're in contact with the drum. If it's too low, then you don't get enough rotation and they still scorch. And so you want that sweet spot. Now, I actually had a call with Catherine today because she had a customer who was doing dark roasted coffee, and they were getting a lot of chips off the dark roast. So these little holes or craters, it looks like, in the roast. And so I advised, she said, what can you do about this? And I advised her to bump the drum speed down after first crack, because those chips occur when the coffee bean gets weak and when it's doing a lot of agitation. So if you turn it down a little bit, lower the heat, you don't get the agitation, and you kind of stretch out that second crack. And they did some experiments, and that worked out for them. So drum speed can be controlled for that reason. But really, if coffees have different densities, you know, a pea berry is going to tumble differently than like an extra fancy Kona. And so you want to be able to control that, although it's not the #1 go-to. It's more of like a fine point tweaking.
So 40 is a good safe spot.
40 is a good,
what you've learned.
Yes, 40 is a good safe spot. I think that might be the default. That's what I've set it to, and I've played with it a little bit. So now we're already over here. We're at 284 degrees. I've got this set Fahrenheit. So that's our bean temp, and then we're at 399 environment temp, which is pretty standard. So we're just climbing up right there. Again, I really like these little leaders here because it kind of gives you an idea if you're going hot enough and you need to increase your heat. Now, when we get into first crack, I typically like to lower. After first crack starts going, I'm going to lower the heat, and I'm going to bump the fan up so I move the smoke off of the beans. If you don't do that, you get a pretty smoky bean taste after a while, and that may be something you like and go for, but it's not what I usually go for. There we go. Now, as this roaster rolls, you'll notice here this little handle on the side. This is something to pay attention to. Now, I've got a washed Costa Rican in here right now. There's not a whole lot of chaff, but that's your chaff collection. I don't want to have it open very long because it lets air out, lets heat out, and you'll actually notice a dip because I opened it. Look right there. You have a little bit of a dip in the environment temp right there, just because I had that open, so some of the air went out the side. But that's just good to keep track of if you're using a natural or a honey that's got a lot of chaff to it. I've dumped those out in the middle of the roast, and the fact that it's so easy to get to is really, really nice. If you let this pile up in here, though, you can have a chaff fire. That's something to be concerned about. Even if you get a lot of smoke, it'll smoke up your beans, but chaff fires can be dangerous. So keep an eye on the chaff in here. Dump it at least after every roast, and if you're using a chaffy coffee, you may want to dump it in the middle. Just because the way this drum is designed, it's a perforated cage. It's not a solid drum, so you have direct fire heat, which is really good, but it also means that the chaff is wide open. There's nothing keeping the chaff away from those heating elements, and if the air gets turned up and they get stirred around a little bit, they can touch those heating elements and catch fire. So now we're here. By the way, this squiggledy line right here is called our rate of rise line. It's also tracked down here differently, but still shows you your rate of rise. The reason we call it rate of rise is because this is the increase in the temperature of the beans over time. So at this point, rate of rise, this is signified by this delta BT, is positive 23.1, 22.4, 22.3. That means for every minute, it's rising by that number, 24 degrees Fahrenheit, every single minute.
Oh, gotcha.
That's a steady increase. It's a little high, actually, but it's a steady increase. And I'm going to bump down the heat a little bit, just because I want to be in the low 20s or high teens at this point of the roast. Don't want to lose a lot of energy, but we definitely don't want to go in too hot, or we'll roll right through first crack, too far into second crack, and maybe overshoot what we're looking for. Now we got a little bit of smoke coming out here. I'm going to go ahead and crank the fan on. And I'm just going to do it to this 20% just to start moving some air through there. If I can, my touch screen is not wanting to work. There we go. There we go. Okay. There we go. So already you can feel the heat coming out of here because we're turning that fan on and moving air around out of the tailpipe there. It's actually moist. Like if you hold your hand up here, we're still pushing moisture out of that coffee. And so this is a combination of smoke and steam coming out of there. Yeah. There we go. Bump that up just so we can keep our rate of rise, but I want to get first. Oh, did y'all hear that? We just had the first couple of snaps of first crack. We're rolling right now. I'm going to go ahead and mark it. Now, it doesn't automatically mark first crack start. You have to do that manually, but now that's recorded. I don't know if you can tell this too, but it's also tracking all the movements I've made with temperature right here. So this is showing for later that we bumped up, we bumped down, we've made these different changes. I'm going to get close so you can hear that first crack. That's a beautiful sound.
Yep.
Now that we're in first crack, I'm going to bump up the fan speed and pull our heat down again to 60. And now I'm going to pull out a sample here. Okay. We're in a light roast right now. You can see the color variation on the coffee bean there. Still some chaff attached to that one. So we're going to let this get through first crack, and then we're going to drop it after we get through first crack, so we're in a nice medium roast. Now, I'll talk about this while I can right now. We're just going to let this run right now. But this is our door open right here. It's magnetic to hold it open, so you turn that knob and it releases it. You lift it up, and these two magnets right here and right here hold the door open. So you don't sit there and hold it, which is very nice. And this is the cooler. Now, this is the cool basket. In order to cool adequately, you have to stir the coffee to the back of the basket like this, and keep it rotating. There's two of these CPU fans right there to keep that moving. Now you can hear we're already low. Our first crack's already kind of fallen off. Our bean temp is 395, so let's take another look and see if we're ready to drop it. Very close, very close. I want to let it go a little bit longer than that. Let's get up to 400 degrees.
How can you tell when you're ready to drop?
I'm looking for visual cues and for temperature cues. I'm looking, is this a medium or are we still on the light side? And even that looks a little bit more like a medium roast. A lot of times when you hit medium, the color unifies a little bit more and it's less modeling. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and call first crack in, and I'm going to hit drop, and I'm going to open this at the same time. It automatically kicks that fan on. And look at that roast right there.
The smoke out the back.
Yeah, all the smoke comes off those beans.
That heat is great.
It dumps them out real quick, cools them down, and I mean, this will probably be cool under 2 minutes. And I keep stirring it to the back because the fans are back there, and the fan pulls from the back side and the bottom at the same time. So it doesn't really pull if the coffee's up against the back wall, this front wall or the side wall. It really doesn't cool it very efficiently. So you keep the coffee beans moving and stirring. That's a beautiful, very even medium roast coffee. And again, this is the Costa Rica La Manita estate.
So your total time of it in the burner.
The total time looks like 10 minutes. Wow. 10 minutes start to finish. And the great thing is this is a very well-made commercial roaster, so you could absolutely, as soon as this is cool, you can go ahead and preheat this and start the next roast right after this is done. So you can run these back to back to back. And I'm not even run full capacity. This is 800 grams. This is a 1,200 gram roaster. I just did this so it'd be a little bit faster on the roast, show you guys what it is in a timely manner. You could run this all the way up to 1,200 grams. You could run 960, which is 80%. That's pretty standard for drum roasters, is 80% of capacity. I've done both ways. So yeah, this is just pulling that heat right off. Go ahead and close this and latch it again. And if I want, I can say, while I'm stirring, I can say off. And now that's a full picture of my roast. Now the great thing about the Kaleido, I haven't even talked about this, you can run this on auto. And you can have Kaleido either follow the temperature curve. So it can, if you say follow the temperature curve, it will literally map this on and then try and keep the beans at the temperature by making whatever adjustments you need. Or you can say, follow what I did. In other words, follow my temperature, my heat movements here. So it will do all of these changes just when I did them. And I can repeat and run that over and over and over again. All you got to do is monitor it and be here to stir when it's ready to done. That's it. So one of the easiest roasters in terms of like just once you get it set up, you fire it up and let it run. Once you get this thing saved, all you got to do is repeat, repeat, repeat. John, what do you think? You ready to take this one for a spin?
Man, I like that. That's nice.
We'll do a fuller review of this and compare it to like the Bullet and some other roasters in the future. But right now, I just wanted to do a quick run through and show y'all how I do the roast. Right now, they're warm. They're not roasting anymore. And pretty soon, they're going to be cool to the touch. So there you go. Thank y'all for watching.
That's
John,
great.
thank you for giving me the opportunity to show you this. And y'all have a great day.